Hello riders! Welcome to Racelines, the channel that puts you on the fast track. With this channel, you will be able to prepare your race or track day by learning a proper race line, focus points, and overall tricks and advice to make the most of your time on track. In this video, we will look at the NCM Motorsports Park located in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The NCM bike configuration is a 2.87-mile loop with 20 turns and elevation changes. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so let's take a look at our layout. The screen contains three types of information. The first one is the rider's line overlaid on the track. This will help us dissect the line and turning points. The second one is the rider's view. We will use this one to note focus points and familiarize you with the sense of speed, as well as giving you the rider's position on the overall track map. The last piece of information is the telemetry. The top line, in red, shows the bike speed. The green line shows the engine speed, which will indicate shifting points and throttle control. The last line is the bike's lean angle. This will show us when the rider initiates the turn or stands the bike up at corner exits. Got it? Let's head to the track then. Alright, so really quickly, let's take a look at the map for NCM. NCM is a track that has 19 turns for the bike configurations, and I have noted here in green the turns that are very important because they precede straightaways, and that is where you will want to have a really good exit. And in red are the slowest turns of the track. I have also noted pit in and pit out, and also the paddock area. So let's go to the track. Turn 1A is a chicane that comes right after the front straight. Your first reflex is going to be, whoa, I need to scrub a lot of speed to make it through the right-hander. Although you'll go from your top speed down to about 60 to 50 miles per hour, you can still carry a lot of speed at the end of the straight, and use this right-hander to continue scrubbing speed. A good indication that you'll have slowed down too much is if you pick up the gas again to reach the apex of the left-hander. So what you want to do is to enter the right-hander by merging in from the middle of the track and trail brake through it, adjusting your speed for the left-hander. You can lift your bike up after the right-hander's apex and shoot for the green arrow. You will need to hug the right-hander and keep a maintenance throttle until you pass the apex. Too early and it will push you towards the inside of the track, and too late and you'll be pushed towards the outside. In both of those cases, you'll have to correct for turn 1B instead of straightening it. Now approaching turn 2 and 3. This turn is a case of double apex. Here, the goal is to set up for a good exit out of the second apex since it's followed by a long straight. Approach the first part by staying towards the outside rumble strips and target the last two stripes shown by the green arrow. You can trail brake through this turn up to your slowest point shown by the second green arrow. There, you will get the bike turned and accelerate progressively. By the time you clip the apex of turn 3, you should be at or near full throttle. Since turn 3 has an increasing radius opening onto a straightaway, it is best to complete most of the turning early to benefit from a good drive out of turn 3. We call this strategy late apex line or quick steer. The back straight between turn 3 and 5 can be straightened up by clipping the right rumble strip shown by this green arrow and the following left rumble strip, which is turn 4. Entering turn 5 is where a lot of people have different lines. You'll notice from the GoPro view that the turn is fairly blind, and the rumble strips are not visible from the back straight. As a result, most riders' reflex is to hang wide on entry, but that's not the fastest line. Turn 5 is a very wide turn that should be used to scrub speed off before turn 6. That said, you can scrub speed in the turn rather than before the turn. Just look for the grass on the right side and merge into the turn from the center of the track. The center of the track is where you should be if you head straight into the back straight, all the way. As you start leaning into the turn, you will see the rumble strip appear under your right knee and the track opening in front of you. Turn 6 is a tight turn followed by a straightaway going downhill. Since you've been scrubbing up speed coming from turn 5 anyway, you'll be able to set up for a good drive on exit to take advantage of that downhill straight portion. You'll see the runoff area ending in the grass where that green arrow is pointing. That is your turning point. Most of your slowing down will be done up to this turning point. A lower speed will allow a tighter radius and will help completing the turn before the apex. Getting on the gas at the apex of turn 6 will push you a bit wide towards the outside rumble strips, but that's alright. All the way down the hill is turn 7. Although the section following 7 is not a long stretch of straight, it is a portion of the track that is going uphill, and for that, you will want to use a good drive on exit. A good exit is especially important since the following turn, turn 8, is a long sweeper that is best taken with a lot of corner speed. So, arriving downhill, stay on the outside and start slowing down in order to quick steer the bike and square off turn 7. There is often a stream of water in the middle of the turn. Stay on the right side of it, close to the rumble strips. An easy way to tell that you're on the right line also is that you can see tire mark on the pavement. You can clearly see some by the rumble strips in this case. The advantage of that line is that you won't have to correct for your position to set up for turn 8. If you turn into 7 too soon, then you will drift wide on exit and you'll have to then cross the track to set up for 8, which is making the track unnecessarily longer. Turn 8 is an awesome left-hander. It's a very long sweeper and it's the turn where I first drag knee, and where you can see other freestyle loving dudes drag their elbow for the Instagram. I have seen a couple lines going through this turn, from hanging wide before the turn to merging from the center of the track. In the line shown on the video, the rider initiates the turn early while trail braking into the corner. This strategy allows for more corner entry speed. Although this is a sweet turn to drag knee, you will want to pick up the bike once you reach the top of the hill in order to shoot straight for turn 10. There's no interest in squaring off turn 8 because this is such a long turn, then even a point and shoot strategy will still require you to stay leaned over to finish completing the turn, which will delay the time that you can start accelerating. From the apex of turn 8, you can now be on the gas all the way through turn 9. Turn 9 is barely a turn, but you want to make sure that you're on the right side of the rumble strips in order to be set for what comes next, on your way to the bus stop. After turn 9, it's another blind spot. The track starts going uphill and it feels like you can possibly end up in the grass. That won't happen. You can safely aim for the corner worker tower using all the track, and you will cross from the right to the left and the track will appear in front of you. Now slightly going downhill towards the bus stop. This is another area where you might see some riders taking the wide line, when in fact the fastest line is from the left side of the track. This turn is called a decreasing radius turn and is made of two parts. The first part with a wider radius in the first apex, and the second part with a tighter radius in the second apex. Entering the turn, follow these rumble strips on the inside and head for the outside rumble strips where the green arrow is. You should be trail braking up to these and end up parallel to the rumble strips. Your slowest point will be in between the two apex, essentially where the outside rumble strips are ending. By having our slowest points this far into the turn, the rider can square off the second part of it and accelerate sooner and harder on exit. This will give you a good drive to gain speed on this next straight portion. Turn 12 is the infamous deception. It's got its name from the fact that it's a blind turn that's surprisingly tighter than expected. This turn favors both lines, quick steer, which is the late apex for the fast exit, or the trail braking, early apex for fast entry. What's important to note here is that you will have to commit to turning the bike without seeing the exit. Turn 13 is a kink. If you choose to quick steer for turn 12, then you should be hanging on the right side of the track, which will give you an open view through 13 and onto the straightaway. If you trail braked into turn 12, then you will have maximized your acceleration in the portion between 10 and 12, but you'll need to be patient to get on the gas approaching 13. because you will likely be hanging on the left side of the track. To set up for 13, you'll have to adjust your direction. The line choice through deception will depend on what you want to do, whether you want to pass someone before or after it. From turn 13, this is a fairly straight shot to turn 16. There's a tabletop by turn 14, which will potentially make you catch some air, but it's all fun and giggles when you're used to it. Just stay on the gas all the way. Turn 16 is very much like turn 5, the previous right sweeper. Similarly, you should merge it from the middle of the track using maintenance throttle or very little brakes, and it will feel like you turn into the grass, but the rumble strips appear on your right. The exit of turn 16 is a downhill portion with some water stream running across the track, especially if it's been raining. A good indication that you took turn 16 right is if you exit on the right side of the track between the rumble strip and where the water stream stops. Turn 17 is a 90-degree uphill. A lot of people will slow down, a lot more than necessary before this turn. The quick steering strategy here will allow you to get back on the gas early to keep the engine speed through the uphill on exit. If you cruise through it, you will lose a lot of time, which is what the rider is doing in this video. Turn 18 is important because it sets you up for turn 19, which then opens onto the long front straight. 18 is a right-hander immediately followed by a left-hander. This, in my opinion, is the most technical part of the track, because a bad setup will affect your acceleration on the straightaway. As you continue going uphill, we will want to sacrifice turn 18 to gain exit speed for 19. The slower entry allows the rider to turn tighter, get to the apex later, and stay closer to the right side of the track at the exit of the first turn. This tighter exit allows for a better setup for turn 19. This is also the shortest distance through these two turns and the lines that has the least change of direction possible. As you get the bike turned towards the left and pointing at the straightaway, you can then get on the gas early and gain a lot of speed early to head towards the start-finish line. And that's it for NCM. This was the first of a series of videos on Southeast US tracks. Let me know in the comment below if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. For further info about riding NCM, I have also linked the corresponding GoPro footage for this lap in the description. Please like and subscribe to Racelines if you want to see more content like this. Bye bye!